In the heart of Central Asia, at the center of a continent, lies a country that is doubly landlocked, a nation cradled by deserts and mountains, far from any ocean. This is a land whose name echoes with the history of forgotten empires and the footsteps of ancient caravans. It is a place where the past is not a distant memory, but a living, breathing presence in the tiled facades of its cities and the enduring traditions of its people. This is Uzbekistan. From above, it reveals itself as a vast canvas of contrasting landscapes. The immense, sun-scorched sands of the Kizilkum Desert stretch toward the horizon, while in the east, the snow-capped peaks of the Tian Shan and Pamir Ale mountain ranges rise to meet the sky. Between them, fertile river valleys, fed by the Amudarya and Sirdarya, create vibrant oases of green. It is in these oases that history has been written. Here, legendary cities like Samarkand, Bukhara, and Khiva rose from the dust, becoming glittering jewels on the Great Silk Road. For millennia, this was a crossroads of civilizations, a place where ideas, goods, and cultures from China, India, Persia, and Europe converged and mingled. The light here is sharp and clear, casting deep shadows and making the turquoise domes of the mosques and madrasas blaze against the azure sky. But to look beyond the monumental architecture is to discover a nation of profound warmth and intricate social fabric. This is a story not of empires lost to time, but of the enduring spirit of the people who inhabit this ancient land. This is the story of life in Uzbekistan. Daily life in Uzbekistan is anchored in the bedrock of community and family. The day often begins not with the rush of a metropolis, but with the gentle, time-honored rhythms of the mahalla. The mahalla is more than just a neighborhood. It is a self-governing social institution, a tightly knit community where life is lived collectively. The morning starts with the scent of baking bread and the quiet murmur of greetings. In these labyrinthine lanes, anonymity is a foreign concept. Everyone knows everyone, and the affairs of one family are the concern of all. The local bazaar is the vibrant, beating heart of every Uzbek city, town, and village. It is a sensory explosion, a kaleidoscope of colors, sounds, and smells. Mountains of sun-dried apricots, glistening pomegranates, and fragrant melons are piled high. Pyramids of spices, cumin, coriander, and paprika release their earthy aromas into the air. The air hums with the sound of commerce, a constant good-natured symphony of bargaining, laughter, and conversation. The bazaar is not merely a place to shop, it is a social hub, a place to meet friends, catch up on news, and feel the pulse of the community. Hospitality is the cornerstone of the Uzbek identity. A guest is considered a gift from God, and visitors are welcomed with an openness and generosity that is deeply ingrained in the culture. To be invited into an Uzbek home is to be treated as family. The best food is brought out, the tea flows endlessly, and the conversation is warm and genuine. This tradition of hospitality, honed over centuries of welcoming travelers along the Silk Road, remains the defining characteristic of the Uzbek people. At the center of this social world is the family. It is a powerful, multi-generational unit that forms the foundation of society. It is common for several generations to live under one roof or in close proximity within the same mahalla. The elderly are revered, their wisdom and experience forming the moral compass of the family. Children are cherished, growing up surrounded by a wide and protective network of relatives. This deep-seated importance of family creates a powerful sense of belonging and a resilient social safety net, an unspoken understanding that one is never truly alone. Tradition in Uzbekistan is not a relic of the past. It is a vibrant, living force that shapes the present. The culture is a rich tapestry, woven from diverse threads, the ancient Turkic heritage of its people, the profound influence of Persian art and poetry, the deep-rooted traditions of Islam, and the more recent, complex legacy of the Soviet era. This unique fusion has created a distinct and resilient national identity. This identity is visible in the traditional clothing, which is still worn with pride, especially during festivals and celebrations. The men's chapan, a quilted long-sleeved coat, and the iconic square dopa cap are symbols of national heritage. Women's clothing is often a riot of color, with dresses made from the shimmering, iridescent silk fabric known as Khan Atlas, its abstract patterns said to resemble clouds reflected in water. Traditional crafts, passed down through generations, are a vital part of the cultural fabric. In the workshops of Bukhara, coppersmiths hammer intricate patterns into trays and ewers. In the Fergana Valley, master potters in towns like Rishton turn clay into world-renowned blue and green glazed ceramics. And in homes across the country, women practice the art of Suzani, creating stunning, hand-embroidered tapestries that tell stories through symbols of flowers, vines, and pomegranates. Music and dance are the soul of the nation. The classical music tradition, shashmakam, with its complex melodies and poetic lyrics, is a shared heritage with Tajikistan, a testament to the region's intertwined history. Folk music, played on traditional instruments like the dutar and the dwara drum, is the soundtrack to everyday life, accompanying weddings, holidays, and family gatherings. These traditions are most vividly on display during a wedding, which is the most important social event in a person's life. It is a grand, multi-day affair involving the entire community, a vibrant celebration filled with elaborate rituals, feasting, music, and dance, reinforcing the bonds of family and community for the next generation. At the heart of it all is an immense pride in the nation's Silk Road heritage. The names of Samarkand, Bukhara, and Khiva are spoken with reverence. They are not just tourist destinations. They are powerful symbols of a golden age of science, art, and culture, a tangible link to a past when this land was the center of the world. The Uzbek economy is a story of transition, a complex blend of state-driven industry, ancient agricultural practices, and a burgeoning private sector. For generations, the land has been the primary source of wealth. Agriculture remains a cornerstone of the economy, with the fertile river valleys producing fruits, vegetables, and grains. But for much of the 20th century, the economy was dominated by a single crop, cotton. Known as white gold, cotton cultivation was massively expanded during the Soviet era, a legacy that has had profound and lasting economic and environmental consequences. Today, the economy is diversifying. The textile industry is growing, turning raw cotton into finished goods for export. The country is rich in natural resources, including gold, natural gas, and copper, which form the backbone of its industrial sector. In the cities, a new spirit of entrepreneurship is taking hold. Small businesses are the lifeblood of the local economy, from family-run restaurants and guest houses to modern tech startups in the capital, Tashkent. The bazaar remains a vital economic engine, a sprawling marketplace where farmers sell their produce directly and artisans sell their crafts, forming a vast and essential network of micro-commerce. Tourism is emerging as a key sector, as more travelers are drawn to the country's historical treasures and renowned hospitality. This has fueled a construction boom, with new hotels, restaurants, and infrastructure projects transforming the urban landscape. Yet, for many families, economic opportunities can be limited. This has led to a significant number of Uzbeks, particularly men, traveling abroad for work, primarily to Russia and Kazakhstan. The remittances they send home are a crucial source of income for millions of households, supporting families and funding the construction of new homes in villages across the country. It is a modern reality of the global economy, a sacrifice made for the well-being of the family back home, shaping the social fabric of the nation in profound ways. The cost of living in Uzbekistan presents a picture of contrasts, varying dramatically between the modern capital and the traditional countryside. For the average Uzbek family, life is affordable but requires careful budgeting. The heart of the household economy is the bazaar. Shopping here is not just a cultural tradition, it is a financial necessity. Prices for fresh, seasonal produce, tomatoes, cucumbers, grapes, and melons are significantly lower than in the supermarkets that are becoming more common in the cities. Meat, bread, and dairy are also staples purchased daily from local vendors. Housing is the largest expense for many. In the capital, Tashkent, the cost of renting a modern apartment can be comparable to that of other regional cities, representing a significant portion of a monthly salary. However, in smaller towns and rural areas, housing is far more affordable. Many families live in homes they have built themselves over many years, often expanding them as the family grows. Property ownership is a source of immense pride and security. Transportation is generally inexpensive. In the cities, a network of buses, minibuses known as marshrutkas, and in Tashkent, an efficient and beautifully decorated Soviet-era metro system makes getting around affordable. Shared taxis are the most common way to travel between cities, a system that is both economical and a social experience in itself. Utilities like water, electricity, and gas are subsidized by the state, keeping monthly bills relatively low. However, salaries are also modest by international standards. A teacher, doctor, or government employee earns a salary that is sufficient for a comfortable, if simple, life. Many families supplement their income through small-scale farming, selling produce from their garden plots, or through the remittances sent by relatives working abroad. It is a life that is not defined by material wealth, but by a resourcefulness and a focus on the fundamental pillars of family, food, and community. In Uzbekistan, food is more than just sustenance. It is a ritual, an art form, and the ultimate expression of hospitality. The cuisine is hearty, flavorful, and deeply connected to the land and its history as a stop on the Silk Road, with influences from Persian, Turkic, and Russian cooking. At the undisputed heart of the cuisine is plov, or osh. It is the national dish, a fragrant and savory pilaf of rice, carrots, onions, and meat, typically lamb or beef, all slow-cooked in a large cast-iron cauldron called a kazan. There are dozens of regional variations, and the dish is central to every significant life event, from weddings and funerals to holidays and simple family gatherings. The preparation of plov is often a communal and celebratory act, traditionally cooked by men. Bread, or non, is sacred. It is never placed upside down and is always broken by hand, never cut with a knife. These round, flat loaves, baked in a clay tandir oven, are stamped with intricate patterns and are an essential part of every meal. Another beloved staple is the samsa, a savory pastry, often triangular, filled with minced meat, onions, or pumpkin, baked to a golden crisp in the tandir. Shashlik, or kebabs, are a national obsession. Skewers of marinated meat, grilled over charcoal, are a popular street food and a favorite for outdoor gatherings. Hearty soups, like lagman, a rich noodle soup with meat and vegetables, and shurpa, a clear broth with chunks of meat and vegetables, are comforting staples, especially in the colder months. Tea is the drink of life. Green tea, or kok choy, is the most common, served in small bowls called piyalas. The choy kona, or tea house, is a traditional male sanctuary, a place to relax on raised platforms, drink tea for hours, talk, and play board games. It is the social hub of the Mahala. But at its core, Uzbek food culture is rooted in the home. A shared meal with family is the central ritual of the day. The table, or dasturkon, is always laden with fresh fruits, nuts, and sweets, a symbol of abundance and generosity. It is through these shared meals that traditions are passed down, bonds are strengthened, and the true spirit of Uzbek hospitality is expressed. The natural world is a powerful and defining force in Uzbekistan. The landscape is one of dramatic extremes, shaping the character and lifestyle of its people. The vast deserts, the Kizilkum and Karakum, cover a huge portion of the country. This is a harsh and beautiful environment of shifting sands, sparse vegetation, and immense open skies. For centuries, these deserts were traversed by Silk Road caravans, a formidable but essential part of the journey. In stark contrast are the mountain regions in the east. The Chimgan Mountains, often called Uzbek Switzerland, are a popular escape from the summer heat, offering cool air, green slopes, and opportunities for hiking and recreation. These mountains are the source of the rivers that give life to the fertile valleys below. The Fergana Valley, the agricultural heartland of the nation, is a densely populated oasis of farms and orchards, a testament to the life-giving power of water in this arid region. Life is governed by the seasons. The summers are long, hot, and dry, with temperatures in the cities and deserts often soaring. During these months, life slows down in the midday heat. People seek refuge in the shade of their courtyards or the cool, thick-walled tea houses. The evenings, however, come alive as families gather outdoors to eat and socialize in the cooler air. The winters are short, but can be intensely cold, with snow blanketing the mountains, and sometimes even the desert sands. This is a time for hearty, warming foods and for life to turn inward, focused on the warmth of the home. This strong seasonal rhythm dictates the cycles of farming, the types of food that are eaten, and the very pace of daily life, fostering a deep and practical connection to the natural world. For a country steeped in ancient history, Uzbekistan is a nation on the move, embracing modernity while navigating the challenges of its vast geography. Connecting its scattered oases and cities is a network of transportation that is a blend of the old and the new. The shared taxi is the workhorse of long-distance travel, a fast and affordable way to cross the vast desert landscapes that separate the major cities. These journeys are a microcosm of Uzbek society, with strangers sharing stories and food over the course of many hours. A modern high-speed train now links the capital, Tashkent, with the historic cities of Samarkand and Bukhara, a symbol of the country's investment in modern infrastructure. This has transformed travel, turning what was once a long day's journey into a comfortable trip of just a few hours. In Tashkent, the metro system is more than just public transport. It is a subterranean art gallery. Each station is a unique, opulent creation of marble, granite, and chandeliers, a proud legacy of Soviet design. Modern technology has become an integral part of daily life. Smartphones are ubiquitous, even in rural villages, connecting families separated by migration and opening a window to the wider world. The internet has fostered a new generation of entrepreneurs and creatives, particularly in the capital. This creates a landscape of fascinating contrasts. It is a place where you can see a shepherd in a remote mountain area checking his messages on a smartphone, or step out of a gleaming high-speed train into the heart of a medieval city. It is this constant, visible interplay between the ancient and the modern, the traditional and the innovative, that defines the reality of contemporary Uzbekistan. For the young people of Uzbekistan, life is a navigation between the deep-rooted traditions of their culture and the powerful pull of a globalized world. Education is highly valued, seen as the key to a better future. The public school system is extensive, and the country has a growing number of universities and institutes of higher education, concentrated primarily in Tashkent. For many young people from provincial towns and villages, moving to the capital for university is a major life event. It is a chance to experience a more modern, cosmopolitan lifestyle and to pursue career opportunities that do not exist in their hometowns. This migration of youth to the capital is reshaping the country's demographics and creating a dynamic, forward-looking urban culture. However, upon graduation, many face a familiar challenge: a competitive job market with limited opportunities in specialized fields. This reality, combined with the prospect of higher wages abroad, leads many young, educated Uzbeks to seek work in other countries. This creates a complex dynamic. Young people are deeply connected to their families and feel a strong sense of responsibility to them. Yet, they also harbor modern ambitions for their careers and personal lives. They are navigating a world where traditional expectations around marriage and family coexist with the desire for individual fulfillment and global experience. They are the generation that is bridging the past and the future, tasked with the delicate balancing act of respecting the traditions that define their identity while forging a new path for themselves and their country in the 21st century. The rhythm of day and night in Uzbekistan is a study in beautiful contrasts, a shift from the vibrant energy of work and commerce to the quiet intimacy of family and community. The daytime is for doing. The bazaars are a hive of activity from dawn until late afternoon. The fields are filled with farmers tending their crops under the sun. The cities hum with the sound of traffic, construction, and the focused energy of a nation at work. The days are outward focused. driven by the practical necessities of making a living and managing the household. As the sun begins to set, a palpable change occurs. The intense heat of the day subsides, and a cooler, softer air settles over the land. This is when life turns inward, toward the home and the neighborhood. The workday ends and the social day begins. In the mahallas, life spills out onto the streets. Families bring out tables and chairs to sit in front of their homes. Neighbors gather on the supers to drink tea and talk. The air fills with the sounds of children playing, the murmur of conversation, and the aroma of dinner being prepared. The evening is for connection. It is a time for the large family meal that anchors the day. It is a time for visiting relatives, a central part of the social fabric. In the city centers, public squares and parks come alive with people strolling, eating ice cream, and enjoying the pleasant night air. The quiet of the night is not one of silence, but of a gentle, communal peace. It is in this shared, nightly calm that the bonds of family and community are reaffirmed and strengthened, ready for the new day. Life in this historic and beautiful land is not without its significant challenges. The legacy of Soviet-era environmental policies casts a long shadow, most tragically in the desiccation of the Aral Sea, once the world's fourth largest lake, now a stark desert of salt flats and rusting ships. Water management remains one of the country's most critical issues, as a growing population and a thirsty agricultural sector place immense strain on the region's finite water resources. Economic disparities persist between the rapidly developing capital and the more traditional rural areas. Creating enough well-paying jobs to keep the country's young and growing population employed at home is a constant challenge, driving the ongoing wave of labor migration. There is also the delicate and complex task of balancing modernization with preservation. How does a nation build the infrastructure and housing needed for a modern economy without compromising the integrity of its ancient cities? How does it welcome a growing number of tourists without overwhelming the very culture and atmosphere they come to experience? And how does it maintain its unique cultural identity in an age of global connectivity? These are the vital questions that Uzbekistan is grappling with as it charts its course for the future. So why do people stay? In a world of seemingly endless options, what is the powerful force that anchors people to this landlocked nation in the heart of Central Asia? The answers are found not in economic calculations, but in the deep, intangible bonds of culture and community. They stay for the unshakable foundation of family, for the comfort of knowing they are part of a large, supportive network that will celebrate their triumphs and cushion their falls. They stay for the profound sense of community, for the feeling of belonging to a mahalla where they are known, valued, and cared for. They stay for the culture of hospitality, for the simple, genuine human connection that is a part of every social interaction. They stay for the pride in their history, for the deep, spiritual connection to the magnificent cities their ancestors built. To live in the shadow of the Registan in Samarkand or the Kalyan minaret in Bukhara is to feel a part of a story that is thousands of years old. And above all, they stay for the unbreakable connection to home, to a land that has shaped their identity for generations. It is a connection that is tasted in the flavor of plov, heard in the melody of the dutar, and felt in the warmth of a family gathering. It is the feeling of having roots that run as deep as the foundations of the ancient madrasas themselves. Uzbekistan exists in a beautiful and complex balance between a monumental past and an ambitious future, between the quiet traditions of the Mahalla and the dynamic energy of its modernizing cities, between a cherished heritage and the inevitable currents of change. It is a place shaped by the desert sun, by the life-giving rivers, and by the enduring spirit of its people. Here, life is measured not in grand events, but in the steady rhythm of the seasons, in the warmth of a shared cup of tea, in the joy of a family celebration, and in the simple, profound beauty of the everyday. It is a living testament to the idea that even in the most remote corners of our world, the deepest human needs for family, community, and a connection to home remain the most powerful forces of all.